Hello viewers, welcome to Open Book by RS. Now you can learn the simple present. This simple present is also called present indefinite. First you should learn the structure or construction of each and every tense. Let us take up the structure of simple present. Here first you should use the subject. So subject plus present tense form of verb plus object. This present tense form of verb is also called V1. Here you should use always the first form of verb. Write, go, see, come, eat, sleep and so on. Look at the complete examples. I write a letter. We play a match. You sing a song. They eat their food. He sings a song. She cooks food. It catches a rat. Raju plays a match. The child breaks the doll. So in this way here, write, play, sing, eat, catch, break and so on. We used the verbs. But here you should observe one change. When the subject he, she, it are noun in singular, we added extra s. He sings, she cooks, it catches, Raju plays, the child breaks and so on. So here is the rule. When the subject is third person singular, that is he, she, it, noun in singular, we should add s or es to the verb in this tense. Noun in singular, all our names, individual names, singular names are called noun in singular. So whenever we use he, she, it, noun in singular as the subject, we should add s or es in this particular tense. This is the affirmative form of the simple present. Once again the structure subject plus present tense form of verb plus object. So like this we should use. Now we can learn simultaneously the interrogative form and negative form of this simple present. This is an easier way for you. Interrogative form is nothing but question. So question form. How to frame questions? Basically, there are two types of questions. Yes, no questions. First type. These yes, no questions, we get answer as yes, no. That's why these are called yes, no questions. These questions begin with auxiliaries like am, is, are, was, were, do, did, does, have, has, had, shall, will, can, could, would, should, may. Like this. Second type of questions begin with interrogative words or WH words. WH words are who, which, when, where, why, what and how. So these are all the two types of questions. Now how to frame a question in this simple present? It is somewhat a point you should observe and learn properly, because most of the people commit mistakes in framing questions. They find it difficult in framing questions. So learn it properly. The basic thing is you should remember the structure. Subject, present tense form of verb, object. Basing on this structure, you can frame a question or interrogative form in this simple present. So first look at the structure of interrogative form, that is question. In this tense, we should use do or does as the auxiliaries. So look at the structure, do or does plus subject plus present tense form of verb plus object. Of course, sometimes we may use subject or object, sometimes we may remove in certain sentences. So that is the structure, interrogative form. Next, second type of questions. These questions begin with WH word like who, which, where, when, what. So first WH word plus do or does plus subject plus present tense form of verb plus object. So here also you should remember, sometimes you may use the subject and sometimes you may remove it, and the same is the case with the object also. Now look at the examples. Do you know my name? Here observe the structure. Do, that is next subject, next verb, present tense form of verb, and of course object. Do you know my name? So that is the interrogative form. Does he play well? So does he play well? And where should we use do or does? So there is the difference. Does is used with he, she, it or noun in singular. That is Raju, Gopal, Lakshmi, like that. Do is used with subjects like I, we, you, they, noun in plural. So noun in plural, that is children, people, boys, girls, something like that. Example, why do you play cricket only? Here, the WH word, why, is used. And of course, do or does, subject plus present tense form plus object. So like that. So these are the examples of interrogative sentences. Now take the negative form. It's also very easy. So along with do or does, we should use not. So don't. So don't, do not, nothing but. Doesn't, does not. So short form of does not is doesn't. Short form of do not is don't. So with don't, we should use I, we, you, they, noun in plural. The does not, we should use he, she, it, noun in singular. Take the examples. I play a match. I don't play a match. That is, first is affirmative, second one is negative. I don't play a match. Here we need don't, auxiliary and not in order to prepare this sentence. Second example, you waste your time. You don't waste your time. He sings songs. He does not sing songs. Here it does. With the subject he, we should use does or does not. So here you should observe one more thing. With the does, we should use only the first form without s. She does not sing is the right. She does not sings is the wrong. So next example. She writes beautifully. She does not write beautifully. So does not write is the correct form. Does not writes is not necessary. So we don't use extra s here with the negative form because does is there. So these are all the three different forms: affirmative form, interrogative form, and negative form. Now, when should we use this simple present? That is subject plus present tense form of verb plus object. When should we use this sentence? So there are various contexts where we can use this simple present. For that, we should learn their usages. There are many usages for this simple present. Only if you learn the proper usages, then only you can use this structure, this sentence. So along with the structure, you should learn the usage properly. So you should combine both the structure and usage simultaneously. Look at the first use. There are certain activities which happened yesterday, which take place now, and which will be there tomorrow and forever. The sort of activities are called universal or general truths. So whenever you want to express a universal or general truth, you should use this simple present only. That is the structure. Subject plus present tense form of verb plus object. You should use this structure only. There are so many examples for universal truths. So whenever you want to express a universal truth, you should use this simple present only. Look at the popular examples. The sun rises in the east. So it is a universal truth. So always it should be in the present, simple present only, because they happened previously and they take place now and they will be taken place later also. So they don't have end. This sort of endless activities always should be expressed in the simple present only. Second example, the earth revolves around the sun. Night follows day. Of course, vice versa. Day follows night. Water flows down the stream. Electrons revolve around the nucleus. Examples from sciences also there. Honey is sweet. So is the verb there. Heat expands metals. Rainbow appears opposite to the sun. So all these are the universal truths. They happen forever. They happen wherever, everywhere. So all these sort of universal truths should be expressed in simple present only. Whenever you want to express a universal or general truth, use this simple present only. So now take the second use. We do certain activities regularly. That activities are called habits or habitual actions. Some people say habits are activities which we do every day. That is not right. Habits take place at regular intervals of time. They may take place every day, twice in a day, thrice in a day, or every week, or every month, something like that. So these activities are called habitual actions. So we should express all the habitual actions in this simple present. Look at the examples. Every morning she drinks milk. Every morning. That is her habit. So she drinks milk. Should not say she is drinking milk. Every morning she is drinking milk. That is not right. Every morning she drinks milk is the right form. So you should use structure and present tense form only. And there, observe the subject she. So you should add s, extra s like that. Every morning she drinks milk is the right form. Every day he eats non-veg. We play games in school every evening. Always the boy is busy with his cell phone. Often we find this sort of activities. They visit church every Sunday. So it's a habit that they do every Sunday. Sham writes with his left hand. It is a habit. Of course, by birth it comes. Usually, people spread rumors. Often you waste your time. Now and then, Radhika wastes water. So all these are the activities take place regularly. Every morning, every day, every evening, always, every Sunday. Left hand is habit. Usually, often, now and then. So we use this sort of words in this particular tense. So whenever we want to express a habit, we should use this simple present only. And what I observed, many people use present continuous. That may not be correct. So learn it correctly and use it correctly. Next, third usage. We use this tense to express certain actions which happen at the time of speaking. They take place sometimes before our eyes, just at this present moment, they take place. So that sort of activities which happen at the time of speaking can be expressed in this simple present. Look at the examples. Here comes the bus. Suppose we are waiting for the bus, then bus appears there. Then we may use this sort of sentence. Here comes the bus. Of course, we can say the bus is coming. That is different. But action happens. Just observe it. Happen. And then you can use this sentence. Here comes the bus. There the temple bells ring. So suddenly you hear the ringing of bells. There the temple bells ring. Like that you have to use. See how fiercely the waves rise. So you stand before sea and you happen to see the waves all of a sudden, fierce waves. So use this way. See how fiercely the waves rise like this. So happen at the time of speaking. Actions happen at the time of speaking. That sort of activities can be expressed by using this simple present. Next use. In vivid narrative, in order to express certain things in narration, in telling stories. So instead of using simple past, we can use this simple present. Usually, in order to narrate past actions, we can use past tense. But for clarity, for a picturesque point, we can use this simple present. Look at the example. All the Kauravas formed Padmavyuha. Then Abhimanyu rushes into the field with great valor. He successfully enters the Padmavyuha. So that is entry of Abhimanyu into Padmavyuha. It can be explained like this by using this simple present. Abhimanyu rushes into the field. He successfully enters Padmavyuha. So this sort of narration. In the first sentence, all Kauravas formed Padmavyuha. That is past tense. But you want to make it a clear picture to the listener. So then you can use this sentence. Then Abhimanyu rushes. He successfully enters. So like this, you can use this simple present. Next usage. Certain future actions can be expressed in this simple present. That future actions must be future events, part of fixed events, fixed plans, fixed events. That sort of past fixed plans or events can be expressed by using this simple present. Example, the meeting starts at 10 a.m. So the meeting has not yet started. It's a plan, it's a fixed action. So the meeting starts at 10 a.m. The train leaves at 6 p.m. So it's also a fixed one. Next, the college reopens on 1st of this month. Often here we see this sort of sentences. All these are the fixed plans. So this sort of activities can be expressed by using this simple present. We can use the simple present to introduce quotations. Often we quote the famous words of great people. Then we can use this only to introduce as introductory words. You can use this simple present. Shakespeare says, observe that, Shakespeare says. Says is the introductory word, that is in simple present. And the remaining part should be the same. All that glitters is not gold. That should be the same. Shelley says, so says, that's also introductory word. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Gita says, work instantly, don't expect any return. Keats says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. So like this. In all these sentences, we use simple present only to introduce the quotation. So all these are the uses of the simple present. First practice the structure, then learn the usages. You will get clarity.